Hi everyone, it's Nicole McGork here, and today I'm going to share a card created with the November 2013 Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. I created a card with a little clear plastic window where all of the embellishing is done on the outside of the card, but the window peeks through to the inside where you can see the stamped greeting, which of course the stamp is from the stamp set included in the November card kit. What I did first was take my white cardstock and create a card base, and then I took some of the red cardstock from the kit and the pattern paper and layered them there on the front like you see, and I temporarily adhered them, and I'm cutting about an inch down from the top on the front of the card, and then I'm going to cut about an inch slice out of the center there, or kind of underneath where I cut, I guess, so you can see what I'm talking about, because I want to create a window. So then I'm just going to pop off those two pieces for just a second. And I'm going to take my clear sheet and trim that to the correct width, because I want to sandwich it so that you don't see any of the edges of that plastic. So I'm just pulling off the protective coating on each side of the plastic there. That's all I did after I cut that down to size. Okay, I'm going to add a little adhesive then along the edges of both the top and bottom front of my card where I cut that little slice out, and I'm just going to pop that piece of plastic right there. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to need to sandwich that so that you don't see the plastic, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. If I went ahead and attached these two pieces here, see how you see the plastic along the edges? You don't want that. That doesn't look nice and neat and clean. So I'm going to need to cut a couple of more pieces from that extra piece of white cardstock from what I cut my card base on, so that I can create a little sandwich where you will not see any of that. So that's what I did there. I just cut a little piece on the inside, I guess, is I flipped that plastic onto the inside, I think is what I did. Anyway, so there you see that you don't see any of the plastic edges, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere those pieces to the front of my card. You want it to look like there's nothing there, but of course you need something to hold it together so you can open it. Okay, on the inside, I want to cover that up as well because it's not very attractive. So I'm just gonna, and that is what I did. I put the plastic on the inside of the card instead of on the front like I originally had done it, and now I'm covering it up on the inside. It keeps both sides looking nice, neat, and clean, but you especially want that front to not show any of that. So this covers up any of the adhesive, plus it gives that window a nice, secure bond. The next thing I want to do is stamp my greeting. So I kind of know about where the greeting goes, but I'm just going to take that little piece that I cut out that I'm not using and use it as a guide, because I know I have about an inch of wiggle room there, and I want it to really be centered. So I just put a couple of scraps of paper in place to give me a guide for my stamping. And I'm going to ink up the top part of the greeting with the neon red Hero Arts ink, and the bottom part of the greeting in the new silver Hero Arts ink. I like to do this a lot with greetings where you can kind of get away with it and ink them both up ink each line up at the same time and then just stamp it once. So I love this greeting, sending you buckets of love, save some for a bad day. I think that's a wonderful greeting. Next, I want to add some of the hearts from the stamp set in the kit, and I like to use the Embossing Buddy, the powder tool, so that none of my embossing powder sticks anywhere except for exactly where I want it. And I'm going to stamp several of the hearts using some Versamark ink all over the front of my card and off the edges and things. And I'm going to use some red American Crafts Rouge Opaque Embossing Powder on those. And I kind of got some right there on the seam, so I needed to get that off. But there you go. Flick off any of that excess. Once I have all my hearts stamped and embossed, I'm just going to wrap a little bit of red twine. This is May Arts twine. I'm going to wrap that around the card and tie a little bow. I think that just adds a fun little touch to the card. Very easy, relatively flat, so it will mail nicely. And I kind of did that wrong, so I'll pull that back. Make a loop, and then I like to go under all of those strings there so that it secures all of them together. I think I might have missed one still. And just tie a little bow. Hold the center and pull those tight. Kind of just keep working it until you get exactly the bow you want. And I always like to add a little touch of glossy accents to hold that bow in place. Next, I'm going to take some of the Kelly Purkey silver sequins and sprinkle them around and then glue them in place using the glossy accents, and my card is complete. For more information on this card, please visit my blog at www.nicolemcgurk.typepad.com on October 16th, 2013. Thanks for watching, and come back on Friday for the Simon Says Stamp November blog hop.